You work so hard. You show up every day. You do what's expected of you. But deep down, you know the truth. One paycheck shouldn't decide how your life turns out. But what if your evenings meant progress? What if your weekends built freedom? What if your laptop became more than just a screen? This isn't about quitting your job. It's about giving yourself options. While others scroll, you start building. Quietly, consistently, and on your own terms. No pressure, no guessing. Just a clear system you can run after work, before work, or whenever life gives you a turn. That's what Goldmine on hustlesafrica.com is for.
Tuesday. Haikuzo. Makasi ni watafute uongozi pamoja wasitafute.
Kweli una maana gani? Una maana wewe. Ni binadamu ya mavi ya kuku.
Mashamba yetu harambe.
Nguruwe kujikanga na mafuta yake. Na Afrika itakwisha.
Padani agosho. Ngai no mwega. Naendesho de.
Wakati hiyo ilikuwa ukisema ngwe ndani. Ngwe.
Ndio mimi nashangaa nikiwa hapa Kirinyaga ya kwamba kuna wabunge wanapinga ati hiyo mswada. Sasa wewe umetumwa na hawa wananchi wa kahawa, uende bunge usimamie mambo yao pale. Kwa hiyo bill mimi na sign kesho, ambayo wewe unapinga, iko pesa ya kahawa, iko pesa ya mbolea, iko pesa ya kusaidia wananchi wako, na wewe umeenda kuambiwa story na watu ambao hawajui nini inaendelea. Wanakuambia ati uende upinge. Hiyo ni kukosa akili ama ni kuwa na akili sijui aina gani? Sio, ni upuzi mkubwa sana. Kwanza walienda huko bunge wakapeleka propaganda na porojo na fitina. Wakaenda huko bunge wakasema, katika hii bill iko maneno ya kuweka ushuru kwa mambo ya rent. Wakaulizwa ni kipengele gani? Wakakosa kujibu. Wakaenda huko wakaenda kusema katika hii bill iko ushuru kwa mambo ya mashamba. Wakaulizwa ni kipengele gani? Wakakosa. Wakaenda huko wakasema ya kwamba ati iko mambo ya ushuru imewekwa sijui kwa sehemu gani. Wakaulizwa bunge wakakosa kujibu. Alafu sasa hawa watu kweli niwaulize, propaganda inaweza kuendesha taifa kweli? Inaweza kuendesha taifa? So mimi nawaambia wale wabunge ati alafu mnaambiwa na mtu fulani ati muende mupinge, pesa iko ya hawa wananchi. Sasa mimi nataka niwaulize, mpunge ametumwa na wananchi ama ametumwa na mtu fulani? Anaenda kuzungumza mambo ya wananchi ama anaenda kuzungumza mambo ya mtu? Si ni ya mwananchi? So I want to tell members of parliament, please, my friends, respect the voters who voted for you. You cannot oppose a bill that brings resources to the people of Kenya. Don't use propaganda. Musitumie fitina katika kujaribu kuendesha siasa yenu. Semeni ukweli. Hawa wananchi wako na akili. Watajua ni nani ambaye anajua, ni nani ambaye anabahatisha.
Hello, people of the internet. My name is not Jagero. My name is Tricia Wayua. I'm your host tonight. And of course, we shall be keeping each other company from now. That is 7:30 all the way to 9:30 or somewhere there around 10 p.m. My guest tonight, we have Dr. Peter Mbae, who will be joining us shortly. He is a political and a policy analyst in our country right here. And then, of course, I'm also joined by one beautiful and amazing lady here. That is Sarah Howie. Sarah Blessings, right?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So our main topic today is about party democracy or political purge. So we have seen a lot of things happening in our political parties within our country right here, starting with the latest, which we can use as the latest example, that is DCP. We saw what has happened. So, but before we get into that, people of the internet, you need to understand that Kenyan politicians only speak passionately about democracy while they are outside. Yeah, they talk about freedom of expression and, of course, inclusivity in leadership while they are outside. Mm-hmm. But once they are in control of a political party, things change. Songs change. So that is what we want to converse around tonight. But before we get there, before we answer those questions, whether this is a party democracy or political purge, then we have today's political temperatures. A lot is happening.
A lot is going on.
Yes, a lot is happening.
And I think at this point, maybe you all just need a cup of coffee.
Yes, of course. Of course. I actually, I just need to sit up well. Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying we need a cup of coffee is because, as you've just seen in that clip, our president, Dr. William Ruto, was in Kirinyaga County today for the National Coffee Revival. And he said a lot of statements. Mm-hmm. He said quite a lot of things, especially on the side of criticizing MPs opposing the finance bill. And I think that's something we as Kenyans need to maybe try to understand a little bit deeper. I don't know, Trisha, for you're more politically inclined than I am.
Yes.
What do you really think about what the president
said today? One thing that is just it's a mix-up, because Kenyans have a right, and especially to question matters affecting them, especially economic matters. And in this case, we are talking about the Finance Bill 2026, because this is where the conversation is coming from. He's saying that in that Finance Bill, there are some clauses that are favoring farmers in our country, especially the coffee farmers. Yeah. But then now, we also need to look at what he's really talking about. There's something that is trying to pass, there's a message that is trying to pass across, and this is to the members of parliament who voted no. You see, because he's saying that in this finance bill, there's something that is benefiting coffee farmers, but some of you went ahead and you're fighting this finance bill that is supposed to work for the farmers, to work for everyone in our country. And again, you see, what I believe in is the fact that Kenyans have a right to agree, to disagree, to question, to audit what is happening, and especially matters taxation. Because the finance bill is all about matters taxation, how the country or the government is going to collect taxes to run its operations and its affairs in the country. But again, also, the finance bill also dictates or outlines how these monies will be expended, that is in our country here. So if there are some members of parliament, they exercised their right of voting.
Yeah, because, when I got to hear about this story, I understand the point the president is coming from when he says he feels maybe they're using propaganda to make that decision. But then at the end of the day, when you look at it, you wonder, okay, shouldn't somebody also be able to have an opinion? Shouldn't someone also be able to just say, okay, I don't agree with this for A, B, C, D reasons, and it not be propaganda? So
basically, that's what I've just said, that the government, the president, should just excuse those MPs who voted no, because they had reasons. Yeah. They have a right to exercise their voting rights, and if they are voting, when they sat down, read or went through that finance bill, if they saw that this finance bill doesn't favor the people that I represent, because it's a matter of the people that you are representing, even also including yourself. So if members of parliament saw that this finance bill doesn't, because we have actually a majority A majority voted yes. Yeah, they voted the finance bill in. But then now the question is, why is the president sad about those people who voted no? Why must he come out and start talking about it?
Because it almost makes it seem like the expectation was everybody was just supposed to say yes.
Yeah.
Everybody was just supposed to say yes, agree with it, and be comfortable with the fact that it's going to benefit Kenyans in one way or the other. But for somebody who maybe is not yet seeing the benefit, you can't just wake up and decide to vote yes. There has to be a no at some point. And just like you've said, yeah, I think I agree with you on the side where the president needs to also accept the no's.
Actually, you know, he cited where this MP, that is this member of parliament of, was it Kathiani or what? Who who was pinned down, yeah, to show the clause whereby it shows the mitumba taxes. But again, I keep on saying that, you see, when under that pressure, sometimes somebody may not be able to explain themselves well. So I think that is what was the problem that day. Because what I keep on saying and what we know is that the mitumba tax was there. Initially, it was there. Yeah. So it was just a matter of establishing that the parliament said that it has been put on hold, but waiting for it can be brought back. You get. So I think also saying issues of bringing politics in. You know, he has said that this is propaganda. He has said that these people are voting because they have some political interest in it. Then now we also ask about those who voted yes. Do they have a political interest in the finance bill?
You know, there are many questions. And for someone like me, who I would classify myself as the common Kenyan, and what I mean by the common Kenyan is somebody who may not be as politically inclined or may not completely understand what's really going on in the finance bill. And I feel there's a very large group of such people in Kenya who genuinely at this point do not understand what is going on with the finance bill. They have no idea what is actually going on. You hear on one side there's a tax on mitumba. On another side, there's the tax was there, but A, B, C, and D. And I think generally when it comes to how the government is running things, when something is made simple and made straightforward, it's easier for you to digest what is being communicated to you. But when it's being made to be something so complex, and as you said, politics now gets into it, where it seems to be one side versus the other side, it makes everything now a bit difficult for the common Kenyan.
Yeah, so I think that is that. And of course, as the people of the internet watching or following the conversation, of course, they can give us their opinions, their views around what we are conversing around. And just write on our, that is on our comment section, that is on our YouTube, and also on our Facebook, that is Political Headache, as we wait for our guest tonight. So we just want to move on, and this is around Martha Karua. Again, Martha Karua has been denied entry into Uganda.
Don't say again.
Yes.
Don't say
no,
again.
let me use that. Let me just, you know, I can't afford to miss again. Yes. Because remember, sometimes, is it last year or last year but one, when it is last year, yes, when they tried to enter into Tanzania, that is our neighboring country here, and together with some other Kenyans, especially human rights defenders, the Kina Mwangi, you remember?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, and the likes of Kina Hanifa, you remember? They were denied entry, and actually they were brought back to our country. Unajua unafika na unaambiwa hiyo ndege umekuja nayo. Ndio urudi nayo. So now, I think she had already arrived in Uganda.
Yeah, basically she arrived in Uganda, akafika, akaambiwa jeba leko nyabo. And then before she knew it, she was detained for a number of hours. After she was now denied entry, and then she was now deported. But now the question comes, why does this trend seem to keep happening with Martha Karua? Why is it anytime she happens to be called to our neighboring countries and she's going on the purpose of work, right? Because she's going to defend somebody. there seems to be this situation, this standoff?
I think Martha Karua, first of all, looking at history, she has been so much in opposition. And it's something that is common across these three countries. That is Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. You see, most of the time, if you are of a decent, that decent voice in your country, most of the time, you are always on the government's radar. So now they stopped being the Kenya's. They stopped being in the Kenya's government radar now to the neighboring countries, because you realize that these are people who have been marked. Whenever they want to cross the borders to the neighboring country, it's like they are known, they are coming. And of course, like in this matter that she was supposed to attend, of course, she was traveling to support the legal team of an opposition-linked detainees, in that case. And therefore, looking at actually the case by itself, remember, those are oppositions of the administrating government of Uganda.
Yeah,
Same
so
like what happened in Tanzania.
It's kind of like opposition. Somebody who's been a place of opposition in one country is going to another country to support somebody else who is in a place of opposition.
So I think because of what she was actually supposed to do there, that is the reason why she was barred from getting in. I don't know whether right now it is also as easy as it was before for Martha Karua to enter Tanzania after what happened the other day. I don't know whether she can just get to Tanzania the way she wants.
I don't think so.
Now that the elections are over.
I don't think so. I think, in fact, at this point, maybe if she still wants to be able to, travel to these neighboring countries, maybe she might have to just change her means or method ya kuingia.
Do you want her to sneak in?
No, not sneak in, but maybe...
Because actually sneaking
she
in
can
will
just
be...
say, I want to go and get some atoke in Uganda, and do something about it.
So you don't want her...
Flight at this point is an issue.
So what happens to universal human rights principles?
Between these three countries, we need to have a serious conversation and understand what's really going on with that, because it seems like each president ako na beshti yake, and when anything comes looking like opposition, each president is ready to be like, no, you're not going to enter these borders.
Or is that there is some I don't know, communication between the Ugandan government with the Kenyan government, the Tanzanian government with the Kenyan government?
That seems to be the
especially case. Around oppositions.
That seems that if you look at the last 2 years and some of the things that have happened, even like the situation you've mentioned the last time when she was going to TZ, if you look at the temperature, the political temperature of each country at that time, you'll get to understand there's some dots that seem to be connecting. There's some dots that seem to be very similar. There's a trend that seems to be happening, especially when it comes to an issue of opposition.
Okay. Yeah, let's just loop in Daktari to this conversation. Daktari, how are you?
Very well.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
This is the political headache.
Yes.
Yeah, so here we are going to, we are issuing some tablets, some medication to the political headaches that we are having in our country here. And what we had just looked at is some of the sentiments that the president said around those members of parliament who voted no, because he said that this is just, they are voting around propaganda, and also they have some political interests. That is the reason why they are voting no, because according to him, this document, 2026 finance bill, according to him, the document serves the Kenyans right. So I don't know what you have to say. And again, you can combine that with what you just found us talking about. And this is around Martha Karua, again, being denied entry into Uganda. She was traveling to support the legal team of opposition-linked detainees in Uganda. So, karibu sana.
Thank you very much. Two things. One, what I see what happened with the finance bill. and then what followed, one, the issue of absenteeism of many members of parliament, and secondly, the president, he must get himself into anything. He talks about everything on this earth. So, you know, and the more you talk, the more you mess. But to show, one of the things why he must talk is because he has fingers in everything. He is the one who actually choreographs and plans them. You hear there's some video that leaked about the Kimani Ichung'wah trying to tell somebody to speed it up, because he wants to give an update to the president. In short, it was a script. This is what is going to happen. Just like there was a script about during impeachment, anything else that happens, all the laws that passes, it's him. There is a lot of, let's plug this way. He wants to be in everywhere. So let me say this. We pointed out the ills in the finance bill very, very clearly. And we demonstrated a lazy government. Instead of expanding the tax base, you want to continue milking the people who are already, suffocating because of lack of air. That is laziness. I can tell you today, this country has the capacity to raise up to 4 to 5 trillion in revenues alone. Double of what it's doing now. But one, the approach of government, I'll force you, I'll squeeze you. Since I have your pay slip, I'll squeeze it out. That is laziness. Now, and that will be so it in the first 2023. Which government allows itself for people to go to the streets in the first year? Which government? Where? On earth? That is simply bad strategy. Then, the second year, 2024, the first one was led by Raila Odinga, second by Gen Zs. They still didn't get it. When I saw a minister going on television, the chairman of finance, going to say that Treasury have added 5% VAT on bread so that people don't get diabetes, I knew we are done. It is just poor. Then, when Buddy became CS, he tried to pretend they can do without an additional financing. The pretense is over. This time around, there is other, and then you are trying to tax the areas that are innovative, the areas that everybody else. Look at M-Pesa. Look at mobile phones. Just lazy. Instead of being innovative, trying to capture the people. Nobody has a problem, let me say that, of paying 10 shillings, 100 shillings, 200 shillings within their capacity. But number two, where is the money going? Kibaki said, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee. It was just a slogan, well thought of. But also, he moved revenue from 200 billion, more time, to 800 billion within a year or two. So nobody has a problem with paying taxes. We want to repeat. But please, the way you do it, number two, people have lost trust and confidence with this government. Whatever they do, people are just seen stealing. They're still left. Look at what happened. In the time of finance bill, they bring in the supplementary. So that you don't know even what is hitting you. 6.3 billion. Let me tell you what will happen with that money. Because, of course, they cannot spend it nicely within 2 weeks. It will be withdrawn. It will be put in sacks. That is the money that you saw being distributed in economic empowerment things. Remember, most of these MPs two-term, every Friday, they must go and get money. Cash. I mean, like for us to go and being in two-term. There is so much money flowing around. That's what happens, and so I want to tell you this. Now, there was a bit. Ichung'wah is captured on video saying, please speed it up, because our boss, the one who sent us, since we have no brains to think on our own, the one who sent us to come and do a BCD is waiting. But look at the absenteeism. Now, I'll tell you this. I would rather, I can take tea with someone who decided, I'll vote yes, because it's an MP and he has some stand, somehow. Anybody who left parliament and ran away, that is a cowardice. And I want members of the public to take note. Anybody who didn't appear at least, you'd rather have a bad position. Yes. Then you come and say, at least I had a position. Maybe you are given money or something. That is a coward. And we need them to be out of that parliament. If you cannot be in parliament to make a decision one way or another, you'd rather vote yes or no, or then go trying to, at least you are there. You are bold enough to stand up to be counted. Anybody who didn't appear for the voting, members of the public should look for alternatives next year. That's what I want to say, including Dede Nyoro. There is no excuse you can begin coming to give here that you are abroad. Let me tell you, we also travel, please. You simply schedule a visit. There's nothing so, not unless he tells us that it was an emergency, some health emergency, maybe. Traveling where? Come on, you could just move there, fly into Thursday night. I mean, there are flights even now, international flights that fly at 11:45 or something like that. So, no excuses stuff there. Then finally, what you have just said, let me tell you. In East Africa, there is some collusion there's some cartel, there's some brotherhood in bad governance.
Actually, before you get into that,
Yes.
you are talking about now the trip by Martha Karua.
Yes,
The
that's what I'm
denial.
talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
First of all, let's just get back to the finance
Okay,
bill.
yeah.
This Ndindi Nyoro issue.
Yes.
Because I know critics have come out to say that Ndindi Nyoro, being from the mountain and having your party leader, that is Rigathi Gachagua, being part of the people who are telling people not to vote yes to the finance bill. What is he now to the mountain people?
I'll tell you this, and I want to be very frank. Ndindi Nyoro is somebody we have really gone to admire. His stance on policy issues on the economy has been very impressive. However, the moment you don't stand to be counted when you are needed most, remember people have been saying, Ndindi Nyoro has a political party. Ndindi Nyoro is waiting for the right time to be the running mate of President Ruto. But we decided not to agree. We just decided not to buy into that, because anything can be said about me, by the way. Yeah? So we said, no, this guy, the way he's talking, the way he's bashing the government, he looks like these are the kind of people we need. But then when people asked us, then why is he not jumping to DCP, for example?
Yes.
Me, I would say, well, no, all of us don't have to come the same time. And since he didn't impeach the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, since he timed like he's really punching the government on the economic issues, let him come at the right time when we need him most. You know, we also need to tilt that equation properly by December, according to me. I used to defend him, but let me tell you the truth. And by the way, me, whatever I say, I put it on my Facebook. On record. I like putting things on record so that you are very clear that I'm not hiding. I wrote it, my man, you have gotten it wrong. And all the things people are thinking about you and association with the president, all of them have been marked tick. Let me tell you this. We don't want cowards. In times of war, there is no neutrality. In times of war, you cannot come and say you know. You are either with us or with the enemy. There is no neutrality, especially being an elected leader. Elected, you have you are put on some weight to make decisions. I'll tell you this. This is what the mountain is thinking now, that we just lost a very young, brilliant boy. Do you remember Peter Kenneth? Do you remember Peter Kenneth? He was the best performing CDF. He was best of the best. And he just made a long move. I will tell you this. The issue of neutrality and trying to go around. Now, me, I can tell you this. I wouldn't want even to be in a place where the Ndindi Nyoro is being discussed. Because he's not one of us. He doesn't represent the core of the movement. Look, many members of parliament from Mount Kenya also, they absented themselves. Do you know why? I will say this without going to the details. They know that one thing Gen Z will be looking at is those who voted yes during the last finance bill of 2024. So they don't want to make more enemies because they are beginning to feel the heat from the ground about the issue of one-term DCP. And I'll say this in passing. Some of them have begun making moves to join the opposition. Sitting members of UDA. So they like, wow, at least let me have a saving face. I can be saying, I didn't vote for this one. You get the point, eh? But who are the heroes? I like the Leader Mwananchi. Let me tell you why. Those are young people. These are young people even with young families. They will need the money. They are the guys who need the money and all that. But look at the list that came out. Everybody in Leader Mwananchi who have been going around the country talking about one term, they were all in parliament and they voted. So this voting for me was good. It helped us to lead many things. Okay? If you absented, you are a coward. Because a time comes you must make a decision. You don't want to get to lose ground with the Mount Kenya people. So, and also you don't want to upset the president. So you go in the middle. You have lost it. Actually, anybody who absented and those who voted yes, they're in one basket. So that's the fate of Ndindi Nyoro. Unfortunately, he began lighting something there, saying he was abroad. He made it worse. Or rather, he didn't. People thought maybe he was kidnapped or somewhere else. How many people have flown out of the country? Very few. You're telling us you flew out for what? And then you're not telling us what it was? You don't tell us, this is pulmonary, heart problem, something that makes sense. It doesn't make sense. I saw some people, trying to say, understand him. In politics, there's no second chance.
Do you think this was the right time that he was planning to do this, to manifest himself? If what you're saying, if we were to go by what you're saying, that he has been a mole.
And you see, what we are saying, it's not even at the time for him to prove that he's one term. That was a simple thing. Basic, you are a member of parliament. A vote has come to the house. Don't even do it for anything. Do it for what you have been saying outside there. You cannot be talking on media every day and press us. Then you simply come, you disappear the day you are supposed, your vote should matter. By the way, you cannot build a nation on trying to disappear. He disappeared during impeachment. Then you go, okay, we have forgotten. The guy has come back, we have forgotten. Now again, it is too close. For next year, people have to make decisions. Unfortunately, we are going to nominate somebody in Kiharu as DCP. Unfortunately, yes, we are going to do that. We cannot wait for people to go around in the bush like that. Their characters and whatever is not clear. As DCP, we are going to field a candidate in Kiharu. And I want to ask all the people who are interested in DCP ticket, go and pay the fee to become a registered member of DCP in Kiharu. We are going to field candidates. Right now, sorry to say this, and I'm saying this with a lot of, because look here, I was somewhere in a very senior government position. I had 2 vehicles. I had a staff, serious people. I had a red carpet, everything. But I decided, when history will be written, people will ask me in 26, what were you doing in government? If you knew it was bad, if you knew all these things will not be delivered, what were you waiting? I stepped out and I said, let me serve outside here. But my conviction is very clear. The people who sent me, who brought me up in Nakuru, I was in government on their behalf. I have to tell them it will never work. There is danger here. Let me come back home so that we are together. It's a sacrifice. The reason why I'm a frontrunner today in Senate for Nakuru, because people, I went back, I told guys, what you sent me to do will not work. Kindly, let's have another plan. You cannot be a member of parliament. You have only 1 year to go. What are you fearing?
So, Daktari, now that you've talked about the sacrifice that you made by leaving now President William Ruto and going back to the people, your critics have been saying that you are so bitter about your leaving of, that is the government.
Now, let me tell you the difference between bitterness and passion. Me, I have passion. The way I talk because of passion. And that's why I could not be able to be comfortable in a place I know is failing. Because I am a consultant. I'll come to help you if you want. If you don't want, I'll walk away. It's not about the money. It's not about the vehicles. Because at my age, surely, I know how to make money. If I decide to make money today, I know the industries to go and make money. If it's money, this is about service. What draws me is service. We came to government so that we could use government to sort people, to help people in this country. That is why I went to government. Why I accepted that letter of senior technical advisor in the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry, head of programs in the Ministry of Public Service, and head of government delivery service, is so we can help people. If then you can see, because I went to school to study political science, if you can see that you will not achieve it, you cannot, and people believe you can achieve it, you are the people to come and say, excuse me guys, this gentleman has decided to do primitive accumulation of wealth. It was not about the people. It was about consolidating power, use it if possible to capture parliament, to capture judiciary, capture everybody else, council of governors. Then he changes the constitution, he loses forever, and that is why the Honorable Gashawi, you are talking too much. You're asking me so many questions. Out. Everybody out until it's me. Now, surely, let's be very fair. If it was about bitterness, today I'm in a freer place. If I get elected senator for Nakuru, I'll have power to go to every ministry and I'll be elected. I'll have more power than I would have as an advisor. Because anybody serving below the president is an advisor. He can decide to take your advice or not.
Or not.
We did all that work. You have to go. Once you hand over, relax. If you are not called, know that you are not needed.
Why do people say, oh,
Can
sorry.
I just ask Doctor
Yes.
a question? From what you're saying, especially from your sentiments, how you've explained about the difference between bitterness and passion.
Yes.
And how you made the decision to take a step back when you realized that whatever you had gotten into office to achieve was not going to be achieved.
Yes.
I just want to understand, when you're getting in, what exactly about the current administration had convinced you initially that this is the direction you were going to go to, where it was going to actually benefit
Very good.
people?
I can tell you this. The kind of manifesto, the kind of speech President Ruto used to make, if it's one of the best written manifestos, if I was to go back to academia, maybe to try to supervise students of masters and PhD, I would tell them to go and study that document. I think it was one of the best in the world. I think when they fell out with Uhuru Kenyatta, President Ruto retreated to Karen to go and do a manifesto. That's why, remember, he began selling ideas, saying this is an election about ideas. Oh my, let me tell you, we were very sure in our mind that this guy, the conviction he's talking with, if we only did 30%, 30 of what we tabled, because out of what was in the manifesto, you take over government, then you go pick now what is doable in every ministry. You know, you begin sharing all this to the ministries. Yeah, I will tell you this: if only 30%, as at now, was done to completion, not inspecting every day, not kutenga nini, completion done. Because what we did, we went to every ministry, tell them, look here, guy, don't shoot everywhere. Can you focus? What is it that you can do that can be commissioned by now? Actually, our commissioning was supposed to be this year and next year. Commissioning means finished projects, not inspection 10 years and opening the break. Okay? So I will tell you the truth because I say that without fear. The kind of pain these men went through for 4 years, we knew, we thought so. He's sharpened to stop this issue of, greed and all that, just to come and now serve the people. But I didn't know, by being denied trips for 4 years, 5 years he was in deputy, that you don't want to recover the trips. I mean, by not be having a lot of money that time, you want to make double and see it practically in cash, being weighed by a machine. We didn't know. You see, government is meant, you take government to help the people. Our conviction was very clear. And by the way, look at this. The men had all the figures, the names of all the roads. He knew 4 million people need jobs. And he'll tell you he'll make 1 million jobs per year. He'll talk about wearing a shoe that made of leather. I mean, look at the kind of picture he made. And I'll tell you this. While President Ruto made it, that kind of sympathy, out of falling out of the president, that's one thing that convinced the Mount Kenya people. Now, when Mount Kenya were arguing, this is a man who helped Uhuru Kenyatta 2 times. No, I mean, and then Uhuru Kenyatta didn't explain properly to Mount Kenya why he fell out with President Ruto. He just jumped on the handshake. Then sympathy came. Number 2, I think he used his gift of, of the tongue. Now, and getting involved from all of the country to show, you see, I'm the best guy. I'll tell you this to answer your question. The kind of delivery, the kind of conviction this man had. If only he did 30% of the conviction, it would be somewhere else. But I can tell you, we began thinking, we began seeing, I don't know. I'll say some of things some other times, but I can tell you. I remember the day we presented to him for 2 days, what governments need to do practically. Before himself, the deputy then, Rigathi Gachagua, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, all the CSs, all the PSs, would go point by point as a department, and each minister would come and say and commit himself to do that. But the last day I noticed something in his body language. I noticed, this is too much.
So
then when I went and proposed, let's have the government projects and programs in a system so that you can check what government is doing. After all, it's your taxpayers' money. That is where the blockage started, and they were not interested. Then I began thinking, why am I doing all this? Who to who? If you cannot appreciate what I'm doing, somebody said, don't stay where you are not needed. Go to where you are celebrated. Then I was like, you guys have no idea who I am. And if you think I'll stick there for salary, today I'll be saying, yes, sir. I'll be sent to these stations to come and defend Shah, to defend Ebola, to defend these things. And I thought, I went to school to study politics and government and the relationship between the two. This is where this government has lost it. And I went thought about it for 3 months. And I said, a time has come. Unfortunately, these things will not be delivered in this government. It was early on. People were asking me, how? I said, no. I went to school to study something that will happen 2 years from now. It has happened today. You can see what is happening. It's unfortunate. And I'll tell you this again on this year. There's nothing tangible that will be achieved with this government, with the issue of corruption and greed. In everything, there are some fingerprints of personal interest. You cannot serve that way. It's not possible.
So let me ask you, according to you, it's like the president cannot be advised, right? Is that's what you're saying?
I'll tell you this. There is only one man who makes all the decisions. If, however wise you think you are as a CS, as a PS, you must book an appointment to go so that your program is cleared. That's why you see, you don't see a lot of what you'd see in Kibaki era. Ministers are not doing much. You can't see them on media because whatever you have must go to be censored. And finally, it will be watered down. There are very powerful people in this country called advisors. Very powerful. They are the ones who check what ministers are doing. Advisors are the ones, even advisor is allocated to some ministries. They are the ones who decide what needs to be done. I mean, they are the ones, the president meets advisors more than he meets the ministers. So they are the ones who are told, go check. So they are summoned always. PSs are always summoned, CSs, into some offices to go and discuss programs. And you report to the advisors, by the way. It is advisors who go to brief the president. So
something important that you need maybe to let the people of the internet know is, according to you, do you feel that the bottom-up manifesto would have worked if the president today listened to people?
I'll tell you, we had it's good to admit, one of the most beautiful manifestos. So many of us who supported the president thought that what was on the paper is what we would deliver. In terms of manufacturing, in terms of all these kind of things, youth employment, all those kind of things. So let me answer your question in one sentence. If only we delivered 30% by now. 30 out of what we promised. 30. Because if you're talking about 4 million jobs, 1 million plus, we can be able to trace. You know, forget about this story of Kazi Maju that's neither here nor there. I mean, actual jobs, because you cannot lie to the economy. The issue of cost of living. Pesa mfukoni, you remember that? Putting money in people's pockets, right? If only we did 30% of what we were supposed to do in this country, we had enough money. Do you know how much we are talking about? For the last 4 years, 8.7 trillion. Budget, the 4 budgets. Money that has been collected from Kenyans. Add 4.2 trillion of debts. If that money was put into productive economies, you don't need to tell anybody about anything. Anybody will be feeling it. Right now, it's the reverse. Anybody can tell you, everybody, you can tell there's a problem. Because nobody has money. Nobody is improving. People are actually moving backwards. People are being auctioned. People are selling their property. I mean, everything is in the backward. I am happy today, Tricia, that God helped me, because I prayed a lot to make that decision. I wouldn't want to be associated with failure. When I know myself, I'm so genuine. It pains, you know, because my idea was not that. But I look forward to think, let me tell you, con men don't change. You know, if you want to con people, you know the tongue works. You con, you con, put money here, there's something I'm going to buy. He knew all along. He knew all along that the only thing he wanted is power. What you do with the power, consolidate it, look like these our neighbors here. Now that brings me to your next point. I think being around people who think one or another, show me your friends, There's something that you pick from them. So somebody would think, hi, Kagame, for whatever, how many times. Every election, 87%. 87%. The same case with our newfound, whatever, to that thing of Tanzania. Then he's like, why not me? And I can tell you this. The idea of the president was, he gets to power, he buys off everyone, including parliament, judiciary, everybody else around him. Then, if he were to get power next year, God forbid, his plan is very simple. It's simply change the constitution and rule forever, like his neighbors. That is what is in his mind. When you heard things about 7 years, what happened to Zimbabwe? Finally they went, they changed the constitution. It's now 7 years. I can tell you, that is how dictators behave. That's how they think. So the issue of Rigathi coming to say no, you are saying no to me. Do you know my plan? My plan is to go very far. So we can't go with you far because already you're asking hard questions. Oh, please, can you invite Hemedi? No. And who are you? Quickly, out. Somebody else? Yes, sir. So that's why. And by the way, this is not personal. Please hear me out. The issue of getting out the president next year is not personal. It is a matter of life and death in this country of Kenya. The moment we agree such needs to happen, our name in this region is done. Because what is going to happen in Kenya is what has been happening to our neighbors. Mm-hmm. We must say no and move. So I was going to tell you this. You see, you are like, but Mzee, we agreed what we want to do. Of course, his advisors is an old man from the other side. And then he advises the other one. So that is a succession of this kind of thing. He gets advice from this other side, then he advises the lower side. Then you're like, but you have given this lady a lot of marriage. Every time she comes to Uganda, she's like a king. She amplifies the voice of, progressive voices in this region. Why allow her to keep on coming? I can tell you that's a call that came from here to Uganda. Complaining, of course. The same way BCJ, a call came from there. If you are my student, arrest that one. Allow my people to come and arrest him. So I'm sure it's a call that came from Kenya to Uganda, complaining. Why are you giving this lady a lot of free time? A lot of whatever. Everybody, and then maybe it was added, it was supported by a warning. The more you continue entertaining her there, she will continue influencing the young people about liberation, and you are going to suffer the consequence. That's what happens. There are a lot of talks between these East African countries, and that's why Kenya must say no, decisively, by the way. Decisively next year. It's nothing personal. This is not something about the community. It's about him as a person. And nobody let tell us about, no other president did one term. Excuse me. Because those presidents behaved in a presidential way. They were given 2 terms. And it's not about a community. There are people, so many people backing around him. Please, if you want to be supported, first of all, get somebody else to support you. Not somebody from your community say, it's our person, he must go 2 terms. We have nothing personal with the president, by the way, and the community. It's one person we voted for, especially some of us. So, excuse me, just business. Are you able to govern? No. Do you have capacity to govern? You don't have. Excuse me, give way to somebody else. It's that simple. We have nothing personal. It's just business.
Okay. I think that is fair enough. Now, let's cross over to something around compensation of the victims of Gen Z protest and also victims of police brutality. And we have a Gen Z seated right here with us.
I was told the other day, Mimi is Gen Z.
Oh, you were told you're not a Gen Z. Were you on the streets in 2024?
Yes, I was on the streets, but I was on the streets reporting. We had to cover what was happening during that period of time. Apart from being on the streets, I was also in the studio at some point. It was a very sensitive time, especially in Kisumu. I was in Kisumu at that time. It was a very sensitive time generally. But apart from it being a sensitive time, it also felt like that was maybe the first time the youth had woken up in a while. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it has seemed for so many years that the government has kind of been placed by, the old dogs. We've had the same faces for a very long time, a very long period of time. And the Gen Z movement, I feel generally as a country, it awakened so many new things in different people. Even when I'm hearing doctors speak, I'm getting to understand that I think even with the movement that Gen Z made, it also had this kind of chain reaction that even for those of you who are in those positions, made you to start look at things maybe from a different angle and start to really analyze and question some things of what was going on. Because you made a statement, and I've been keen to listen to it. You said if something was working, it would be obvious. You'd see it. People would know, okay, now there are jobs. Now this and this is happening. Now this opportunity has come up. Now this particular industry has moved from this point and it's excelling to this point. So when the protests happened, it was a clear, very clear sign that something is wrong. Even if you're not very politically inclined or keen, or you've been living in a bubble in Kenya, I think that was a moment for everybody where it was like, wait, what's happening?
So from where you sit, are you proud of the achievements of Gen Zs during that protest 2024? And yesterday I had Odoyo Widi here in the studio, and actually was saying that these victims should not be compensated, and actually saying that when they broke into that is Parliament, was saying that that was a place that we were not supposed to access. So it was just blaming their deaths on their actions. That is what basically I can take out of is the conversation that we had right here yesterday. So are you proud of the outcomes of the Gen Z protest so far?
Am I proud of the outcomes of the Gen Z protest so far? I can't say I'm just proud generally of the outcomes of the Gen Z protest. Why? I feel like the outcome has not come yet. I feel like that was the beginning of something, but we're yet to see the outcome of it. And when it comes to the issue of what this gentleman said yesterday,
yes,
about compensation, that they should not be compensated, this and that. I'm somebody who tends to be very logical. I like to look at things from very many different angles before I make a decision. And I've gotten to understand politics in Kenya, not just Kenya, in Africa generally, seems to be very emotionally charged. And sometimes when you attach emotions to things, it's easy for you to jump on a bandwagon and then later realize that, oh, okay, this is not actually how I expected things to be moving, or this is not actually where I wanted to find myself. So when it comes to the Gen Z, it seems like it's a double-edged sword. What I mean by that is, on one side, we needed a revolution because we've been seeing certain rules are not being followed. Certain things are being placed for us to just digest, minus proper protocols being followed. We live in a democratic country, yes, but do we feel like we are allowed to exercise our democratic rights? Maybe not so much. There seems to be some limitations. There seems to be, these are the rules. Everyone else is supposed to follow the rules. But then when it comes to this other side, just as he's mentioned, some of the things that are going on now from that side of the panel, when it comes to this other side, rules can be bent and can be changed and can be maneuvered to suit
to accommodate some people,
personal interest. So it becomes difficult to really be able to say, okay, this part was wrong and this part was right. Because for me, where I'm sitting right now, it seems like everything is wrong. Everything is wrong in this country. There's something that is so off
in this country.
And it's unfortunate that people who are now getting more passionate about their rights and getting more passionate about understanding what is happening in the country and getting more passionate about their civic responsibility, they're the ones who are being silenced. They're the ones who are being told, you need to keep quiet, stop asking questions. So I am proud on the side that we had a moment where people were able to wake up. But I don't feel like the Gen Z movement has come to its conclusion yet.
So, Daktari, is there anything wrong with Thursday's planned anniversary protest by the young people and all those people who want to remember the people we lost in 2024, 2025? Yes.
The Thursday anniversary is the right way to go. It is important. As a matter of fact, when God helps us to take over government, it's going to be a national holiday, like gazetted from next year but one. Because Moi Day was a one man. It was meant to celebrate the successes of Moi, one man. I mean, the former Kenyatta Day was meant to celebrate the first president of Kenya and the people who were arrested in Kapeguria. Those are about 15 or 20. Now, this is the celebration of this generation, the modern day Kenya, the way we had those holidays for those people. This is key because we have over 500 young people killed, maimed, disappeared, and living with scars of what we call the modern day liberation. The modern day liberation started last 24th. I mean, the 25th June 2024. And you can see it has continued. It was that. Then last year, anniversary, more young people are killed, right? on 25th, and then the young people, or rather this generation, took over Sabasaba. Because, I mean, Sabasaba was good, but who continues with it? This generation. They proceeded with it. More people are killed. Okay? Now, then Ada Kina Ojuang, Ada Kina, is it Mwangi, the mask Sarah, you know? Add now the 20. During the fuel protest, we are still trying to liberate the country. That is why 25th of June, the way we remember Sabasaba, that is 1990, I think, 1991, we have to continue remembering that. So it is the right thing to do. Me, I'm asking police, please keep off. So your work is simply to protect the issue of damage to property. And I'm asking the young people, please, I want to urge us to go back to the spirit that was there
in 2024.
During the first 3 days of 2025 June. Before that, unfortunately, this is what unfortunately I fear will happen. Listening to the sentiments of Kipchumba Murkomen, Duale has more problems, a lot of problems in Sha and Deborah, but he still knows into things that he doesn't know. You know, I don't know what's wrong with these people. You know, you have enough problems. We are seeing you left and center. Yeah? And actually, I'm also thinking even myself to go see him because, and this government, because it is now clear. It is us who asked for Ebola. We requested for it to come. And you see, when the US secretary said, you know, people are like, okay, maybe not. Trump have said it. They came for the money and they were very happy about the money. And they said, bring the Ebola. Yet president had lied that it is US who approached. I'm still looking for my lawyers to look for a crowd that we can go to court. Because, I mean, you cannot come and lie to us. That is part of the gross misconduct. It is gross misconduct. To lie to us that you approached to bring Ebola, but it is you who went for the money. And what is more keen on that issue, sorry for the diverting, is that he already received the money. Trump said they came for the money. And it's like the money is already here. And so it's a crazy thing. So going back. So Duale has enough problems. He should not get into this thing. But this is what I fear. The state will sponsor goons.
That is the state. You know, yesterday the conversation was quite interesting because the analyst here, that is Odoyo Weed, also was accusing opposition for so many things, even including the issue of the goons and so forth. So we as Kenyans now, we are left at the middle because opposition says, like what you're saying right now, that you are sure that the state will sponsor goons. Now, and the government also knows very well that there are people who are about to infiltrate in this protest.
Can I tell you? Can I ask you something? Let me tell you. The average Kenyan is very wise. Is very intelligent. Why would opposition sponsor guns for goons for who? For what? What is the objective? Why would we sponsor goons to come and beat? Do we have tear gas? Because the aftermath, unfortunately, we have a leadership that has no qualms about life. Shooting you dead is nothing. And you know, God is so gracious. He allows you to say what is in your heart. Right? After us sensing, is it coming from the president? This shoot to kill orders. By the way, let me tell you how government works. Shoot to kill order can only come from the commander-in-chief. I'm just telling you now. Shoot to kill can only come. I mean, police are allowed down there to self-defense and all that. But this is a national thing that is known. Please don't shoot to kill. This one is coming from a commander-in-chief. They have no qualms about life. Then, the question is, what the government would want to show you, see, we told you, stop this protest. Be stopping these things because they always end in, a loss of life. So they'll kill just to make it muddy. The issue of accusing the opposition, it is dying. It is dead because people cannot buy that story anymore. It can't. Because we came and told you. How can young people, unarmed, with stones maybe, okay, assuming they have arms, they have stones, to go to Kikuyu police station that has police from the gate and go disarm all those young people. The young people with nothing. They go disarm everybody. They go to the armory. They don't steal guns from the armory, but they go burn it down. I mean, who is fooling who?
The government called those goons.
Let me tell you, who mans judiciary courts across the country. Policemen.
Yes.
Armed. Then you are armed. Me, I come, my young people, Gen Z, with water, and I disarm you, and you run away. I go and ban whatever. These are scripts so that, and then you ban Maguna, Mount Kenya only. You have never had anything banned in Narok or whatever. Mount Kenya, to show there is a community here that doesn't like the president because of Rigathi Gachagua. That's where there's all this violence. I can tell you this: the people you see destroying property, looting, these are government goons. And I want to urge the president, as a commander-in-chief, Mr. President, you are elected by the people. The young people you are killing, their mothers, their fathers, and even sometimes themselves, they woke up to vote for you. Please don't kill our young people again. Let them be. I'm asking the young people, please let there be any doubt that it is you who started destroying property, forcing police to move in. Kindly, can you go back to what you did the early days of August, when you just came, sing, go home in the evening. Come, sing, dance, go home. Because what we have on Thursday is simply a commemoration. People should sing dirges. People should march with white, saying, we lost our young people. And then saying, never again. Yeah? Just that's what we want. On the same case, Saba, we come, remember, have some concerts.
And go home.
Have some concerts.
That's
but
fair.
I will say this. There's nothing wrong with the 25th Thursday being a national holiday.
2 questions here.
Yes.
Sorry, before you ask that
Before
question.
he moves from that conversation,
Before he moves from that conversation, there's something I just wanted to mention. You know, you mentioned about yesterday's conversation and how he mentioned, you know, opposition have been also sponsoring
mentioned,
goons.
yes.
He's mentioning government has also been or sponsors goons. Now, for somebody who is looking at this from, you know, from the horizon of, okay, we have the Gen Z, we have the government, we have the opposition. Like you mentioned, last year, Gen Z came out and they had a peaceful protest. They came, you know, very united, and things seem to be moving. From where I'm sitting, it genuinely seems like Gen Z are being used like pawns. It seems like they're on this chessboard, they're being used as pawns, they're in the middle, they're the ones who are being pushed in one direction from one side and then pushed in another direction from another side, and both sides are trying to make it very clear that it's the other side that is the problem. It's the other side that is doing this. So it puts you in a stalemate where you don't know, okay, what are you supposed to trust at this point? Because there are reasons you have not to trust the current government. There are also reasons you have not to trust the opposition to some level. But at the end of the day, you want to commemorate the fallen soldiers. You want to remember the energy, the feeling that was there that first day when they went out in unity and said, okay, as a country, we do not want the country to move in this direction. It's a bit tricky now, because even for me, if I try to ask myself, okay, which direction am I moving to? Is my head swaying to? It's quite difficult. Why? On one side, you'll be told, these are the ones sponsoring goons. On another side, you'll be told, these are the ones sponsoring goons.
Yes.
But now my question is, who are the goons? What I mean by who are the goons are, look at the age bracket of those people. They're still young. They're still Gen Zs. So that's why I'm saying, in this situation, Gen Z seem to be being used as a pawn. Why? It's either you're going to be manipulated and hired to be a goon and still end up getting injured, losing your life, or something like that. Or you stand in unity on the streets, commemorating the fallen soldiers and the loved ones and those who we can remember from 2024, 2025 up until this point, and still be attacked. Still be told you can't walk peacefully, you can't demonstrate peacefully.
So the young people are in a dilemma.
It's a dilemma.
Yes.
I think this is what I'm saying. We are not in government opposition. The buck stops with the government to protect their young people. One, I heard President trying to threaten that kids will go to school on Thursday, whatever will happen on Thursday. I think what he was trying to say is that Thursday is not a public holiday. Life has to continue. But people are saying 500 people mourning with scars, maimed, died is a good number for real to mourn. Nationally, we cannot forget, because the moment we don't do it properly, we'll forget what happened in another 10 years. That's why for us, it's a major thing. This is what I'm saying. And this is a very important issue you have raised. First of all, the opposition is not anywhere in that equation. It's government to protect the people. It's government to stop paying young people 1,500 as goons. It's government that is fighting its own young people. Either when you come there, they attack you, and how do they attack? They make sure there's fracas. Yeah, there are some people trying to break into some shops. You know, themselves whom they have sent. So now police can come and scatter everyone, right? On the other hand, hire goons. Who are the goons? Like you have lately said it, young people. What happened in Kakamega? A young person of someone, maybe a father, an uncle, a son, left Kisumu to go cause fracas in Kakamega. You remember? Leader Mwananchi Larry? And he was left alone dead. Everybody else left. He was left alone. The details came. He was hired by some people in government from Kisumu as a goon to come to Kakamega. He never went back home. So we are all asking our young people. I know there's problem. I know there's unemployment. Most of these young people have degree holders. They have diplomas. They have certificates, right? Their mothers and dads worked very hard to get them to school. So I know there are issues in this country. The 4 million jobs you are promised, I know they are not there. But please, the moment you get into vices, the moment you think you can get money through doing the wrong thing, one, it becomes attractive. Because you don't have to work hard. You just need a phone call. You have a network to a so-and-so, MCA or MP or governor. Yeah, go and get the money. But I can tell you this, it's not sustainable. I would rather we wait. Give another set of leaders a chance to come and simply do what they are saying. Don't give up on yourselves. Don't give up on good governance. Me, that's what I would want to ask young people. Why? Because there is a very thin line. It's good to admit. I mean, Naivasha is where it's part of my towns. And that thing bothered me the whole night, hearing what's happening during this time of fuel. And police were still shooting 10 p.m. until 1. Then I asked, what is the problem? And you could hear stories. There are some people that when young people begin gathering, some people who come there, like the ring leaders, and they have metal bars to go opening and breaking, into shops. Then, because these young other people don't know who they are, they think it's the same team, they begin looting. So, it is something planned. So, every other time, I'll give an example. Molo and Naivasha, since 2024, 23rd of June last year, Saba and fuel protest, that's where there has been chaos, only in the whole 11 sub-counties. And people have died. Right now, fuel 5, the other time 2, 3, every other time. Why the 2 towns? Look at the sporadic, it happens in some areas. So what we are saying is this. Please, I'm asking the government. You are elected. Don't continue to kill young people. Don't continue misusing the young people, calling them goons. These are our young brothers, our young ladies. Let them be on Thursday. And if young people want, and I want to urge, I don't have the right, I'm not the Minister for Interior to declare a public holiday, but I want to say, if people feel they want to mourn, I'm very moderate.
Yes.
If people of Kenya feel they want to mourn the 500 plus, I'll be asking, I've been asking the civil society organizations to publish the names. Let us know these people by the names. Let us have a list of people who are maimed, who are going to hospital from their homes.
Yes.
Let us have the names. Okay? And that's why I'm laughing at this issue of compensation. I was asking somebody, assuming you are serious, of course, in Kenya, 2 million for every death. So in short, death is not important. What is important, I'll bring you the money. Then the story goes. So I was asking somebody yesterday, where is the list? Where is the list so that I can check whether people from my home county are there? The ones I know I buried.
Yes.
Government kills, we bury. You never see any government official The people who literally released the bullet in any barrel. So me have a record of the barrels have attended. We want them to say, by the way, where is the list? So that we can have an idea who are these people 1,000. Nobody knows about it. That's another story altogether. But please,
so,
for Thursday.
Yeah. So before we wind up with that issue, Odoyo again yesterday was asking, is the 2024-2025 deaths more important than those we lost in 2007? Those Kenyans we have been losing. Why should this one be? Is it observed and not those other ones?
First of all, I want to say very simply, the people who want to go back to 1963 can go back, as we are concerned, from August, June 2024. Don't come and mess the equation by bringing 2017, and that's why we are against that report by the president. He wants to mantle the waters. No, we have others from 2017. Another team will come and say, if it's 2017, I also am a victim from 2015. Another one will come and say, from 1963, Wakara massacre. Come on, you go handle that. As we are mourning people who have died and maimed from June 25th, 2024. If you want your team, now what that gentleman you're mentioning here is doing is just political mantling. He wants to mandle the waters so that the whole issue we are talking about is lost. Okay? And these are people sent by government. I know the gentleman you're talking about. He is always irrational and thinking one way. Let me tell you, you can never over-defend this government. The more you try to defend it, even yourself, because everything they touch corrupts. From PPPs to Ebola to whatever, taxes, stealing 6.3 billion in 2 weeks. So really, it's not even a good example. I can tell you this, we are concerned from June. For this, our holiday will capture 25th because that's when the young people were killed. When they were trying to rise against bad governance in forms of a bad finance bill.
So still, again, in that, there's somebody here who is asking that, ask the guest that ile maneno DCP leo walisema eti Ruto anataka kuchoma businesses za Murima people. He's asking, what about that? Because of course, during the protest, we also had by the issue of Murima people, wanaonewa, Murima people. I've had such a thing.
What president wants, okay, is to make sure he disrupts everything in the mountain and show that it's a result of the impeachment and show that it is Honorable Rigathi Gachagua who is behind it. So then continue the narrative of 42 or 43 against 1. I just want to tell you that. Now, when you know that, everything is simple. He wants, because he fears the numbers. President Ruto knows he got 47% of his government from Mount Kenya region. 3.8 million votes. So he fears, and he knows right now, he's a consumer of raw intelligence. Right now, his popularity is at between 2 to 3%, all the way from 47 people who voted for him, right? So the only thing he wants to do now, and that's why I had said earlier, I had alluded to that, and I said he will sponsor violence in some section of this country, Mount Kenya included, to show that it is only this region that has a problem with me. And then begin to tell the other people, you see, Narok, Kisii, that's what Duare said. Duare said, you will not see anything in Garissa. You will not see any protest in Kisii. And because he has not signed a warrant with the young people of Murang'a that they will go to the streets, he will make it happen by sending goons. Remember, they have MPs all over. So they will be used to go and show there's some instability. Why only the mountain? These people, they have personal grudge with the president. Then he will turn it around and say, you see, you are not like these people. Forget about them. You know, they are lost. Come, we go together like this. I can tell you, that's what President Ruto is planning to do. So when it comes to pass, we have seen it from that time. It is good to see. I have told you even the towns where he is targeting. And so that's why I'm telling the young people, don't allow to be tempted to fall in the trap. Kindly, please try as much as possible to go, mourn, grieve, and take videos for record. That this are the agencies. You have a right to assemble, do some prayers, and the other people of this country, they have a right to mourn from homes. Me, if I want to mourn from the home, you cannot tell me to go. It's not a public, it will be a holiday for me to mourn. And we want those names to be released in all the media stations for people to mourn. Let me ask you, why do these people of this country think that the most important people is only their sons and daughters and their relatives? The people who are shot are the mamas of that woman from Kisumu. That person from Kitengera. People who voted, but they are nobodies in this country. So them, they are like, why do you need a holiday anyway? I mean, we shot you dead and that's all. And then the president who didn't want to be reminded that he killed. That's why he's against this holiday. Because when you're at home, you know, Madaraka Day, you know, songs of Madaraka are sung, eh? So for you to remember Madaraka Day of 1963, you know, there's that thing that reminds you that today's Jamhuri, yeah? Today's Christmas. You see the songs, the Easter. He doesn't want to be reminded. He has to be reminded today. Sabasaba, we remember what Kenya did in the issue of multi-party democracy. And next year we are back here on 25th of June and Sabasaba, 1 month to elections. It's about to remember us. Nothing, no, we never choose the dates. The date found us here. So yes, there are those plans, and we are saying, please, Mr. President, we know already what you want to do. So even if you do it, we know.
So it's nothing. It's nothing to do with the economic. It's nothing economical.
Let me tell you, economical is something separate, because you cannot again kill or finish economy in one day. That has been there for years. Political is the answer.
It's political.
Oh yes, it's more political. It's more political. It's more political. Why Maguna Quickmart, you know, owned by Mount Kenya people? They're the ones who are being targeted. You know, Kirinyaga there, whatever, or Kalau, like last time. Why there? Why that one? You know, it is something to do with what they are planning.
Sarah, do you agree with what Dr. is saying?
Okay, I think for me, generally, I feel the 25th should be a holiday. And I do feel that people have the right to mourn. But I also feel the way things are already being politicized as we're coming up towards the anniversary of those who passed away is going to make it a little bit tricky for people to do what they would want to do, that is mourn. It's becoming very political. It's becoming very messy. It's becoming a situation where you start to wonder, is it that the blood that was shed does not matter? You understand? Like when he was speaking, the thing that was going through my mind is in the Bible where it said, and the blood of Abel cried, cried from the ground. I feel like there's so much blood already crying from the ground. There's so much blood in Kenya crying from the ground. And if people decide that it's now time to actually have a sober moment, the 25th, the Thursday, will be a perfect time to have that sober moment and genuinely commemorate those who have fallen. Whether you feel, the government should be doing this or the opposition should be doing that, let's focus on the meaning of that holiday. Let's focus on the meaning of why people are gathering. Let's not lose focus and get entangled in the political jargon and manipulations here and there, and no, they're the ones with goons, these ones are the ones with goons. As young people, please don't find yourself in a situation where you're being manipulated into something. If you're going to go out on the 25th, or if you're going to stay in your house, remember that day is a day of remembering those who had fallen. It's a day of mourning. Whether it's going to be announced as a public holiday or not, it is a day of mourning.
I think that is fair enough. You have anything to add on that?
Actually, I would ask, because there are people who want it to go like a normal day. That's what, no. I wish people just to stay the way you saw the Matatu strike. People stay at home, mourn, put on music and watch. I mean, there are people who have said they are going to march.
Yes.
The victims, the families. In every county. Let people march to the nearest place, maybe garden somewhere, do a party, in the middle of the road, do some songs. But I can tell you, Kenyans will mourn.
But let me ask you, by the way, before I forget, most of the time when we say we are going to do an anniversary or we are mourning somebody, most of the time we do at the graveside, right?
Yeah. Most
of the time. But this one, I hear that people want to march all the way to Parliament.
Yes. This is not, it's called the unveiling of the cross. This is not unveiling of the cross. That's why you go to the grave. This is not unveiling of the cross. Of course, you can only, when you're unveiling the cross, you have to go to the grave.
Yes.
If it's Machakos and all that. No. This is a national mourning where people will, for example, in Nairobi, all the ones who are affected, like that woman from Kariobangi and all that, they will march and they have given a notice. And police have said they have no problem. Okay?
Yes.
So please, government, don't send goons to the people who be families of the grieved grieved of the victims. They will march. It's in order, and the police have said there's nothing wrong with marching. In 47 counties, let us march. Let us remember the people who died, who were shot dead by police, okay? And I want to state here again, a life is not worth 2 million or 3 million. Let me tell you, even if today that money would come, okay? That is blood money. It cannot replace life. The problem is, you keep on talking about compensation, but you continue killing. You kill Ojong, 2 million. You kill the other one, 2 million. Mwangi, some money. So these other ones, how many are they? Get the money that is in the rocker. Pay all of them. We don't want to go that cheap. Life is very precious. Every one person is very precious.
Thank you. Now, let's cross over to the topic of today. Yeah, we have enough time to converse around political democracy or political purge. That is the question that we had tonight. So, people of the internet, Kenya's political parties have long presented themselves as democratic institutions built on constitution, member participation, and collective decision making. But history tells us a different story. In ODM, accusations of sidelining dissent have persisted for years. We all know. In Jubilee, the Uhuru Ruto fallout exposed deep internal fractures that split the party into, and of course, having somebody impeached. Yeah. No, sorry, not this one. Yeah, this is for UDA. That is where we had the deputy president, that is Rigathi Gachagua, falling out with Uhuru, with Ruto. And at the end of the day, he was impeached. And of course, we saw people like officials like Cleophas Malala, yeah, when they raised questions, what happened later. And now, lately, we are having a question of DCP. There has been some leadership reshuffles, and questions of control are already triggering a debate about whether it is a democratic movement or a centralized political vehicle. So, tonight, I want to ask you, because you are from DCP. Who owns DCP?
The people own DCP. It's a mass movement party.
Who is the party leader? I mean, who is the party owner?
No, we don't use owners in parties. We have, in the structure, we have the party leader, who is the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. We have the deputy, Kirio Marara. We have the chairman and all the others. We have NEC members.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what we know right now is that Rigathi Gachagua, having been impeached, and of course his case not having not concluded, people say, and people have concerns that he should not be holding any party leadership position. What's your take on that?
What I can tell you today, if you go today to the office of the Registrar of Political Parties, you'll find our returns. You know, people talk things here in the market. When they are taking tea in bars, in saloons. There's a lot of talk. When you go to the office of the Registrar of Political Parties, the party leader of DCP is the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua. So who should we be listening to? Is it the talk in town or the records in the government offices? He's there. That's it. And this issue of saying, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua is impeached and all that, we are in court, or we are going to go to a court of appeal. I mean, it's simple until we exhaust all the machinery. That's it. So these are the talk by people here. It's good to keep the day going. But that is our position, and that's the position of the law of this country. Yeah, we are talking about Kenya here. You have to think about what were the drafters. Yeah? What was the spirit? What the court does is to interpret the spirit of the Constitution. What was the draft? What were the drafters thinking? Why was that clause, brought forward, and what did it mean? So, in short, we are here, and after all Kalau, we are going to have our NDC to endorse the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua as our presidential candidate. So he is at par with his colleagues before now they go to pick the lineup. Yes,
okay.
I can tell
you. So what do you have to say about party democracy?
Party democracy simply means, within a party, who does what, how is decision making done, how are the structures, Simply democracy is a rule for the people by the people. It's a simple. It's an issue of saying how does this party respond to the wishes of the people, and how is it, how does it resonate to the feelings of the people? So democracy is simple. They rule by the people, by the majority of the people. The majority of people have their say, have their way. The minority have their say. So it's simple. It's about how political parties are structured. Who does what and how are people involved? That's all. In a nutshell, that's what we mean by party democracy. So
looking at ODM, look at UDA, look at Jubilee. We just want to try to figure out what is really happening. Do we really have that party democracy? Because most of the time, like ODM, most of the time people say that is Odinga's party. It's a family thing. When we talk about UDA, watu wanasema ile ni chama ya nani? Ile ni chama ya Ruto. And even when you go to his that is his home region, you realize that is the party that is dominating that region. When we talk about Jubilee, of course, we know Uhuru Kenyatta comes in the picture. And most of the time, how things are done in these political parties, we are left with questions as to whether these people are really democratic and whether they are really working or operating under the constitution that made them.
You see, the problem that happens when decisions of the party are not well consulted about, that's where it becomes an issue of this is a one-man show. Yeah. Because somebody must have thought about forming the party. Sure. You can't see the party. Yeah, you can't see the party belongs to so and so. Everybody must have thought about forming a party. So there happens to be some founders. Then you get people from every school of thought to be in your neck, and all the organs of the party.
Can you chase Rigathi Gachagua from DCP?
You see, the question is, I don't know where chasing is coming from. My question is, because you don't form a party to chase people. You form a party to pursue power, right? So what you should be asking is how are decisions arrived at in DCP? That's what you should have asked, because we didn't form DCP to begin chasing people away. Even myself, by the way. The question is, when a party is formed, it is you, because somebody must have formed a party. Somebody must have thought, the first thought. That's why you see, even today, we celebrate the people who formed DP. Akina Munyao. We celebrate the people who formed the first four. Do you remember? In Kamukunji 1990.
Yes.
Yeah. Akina Shikuku and all that. The people who are there, because they are the people who came up with the idea of forming a party, right? That's why, hate him or like him, the whole idea about ODM was Raila's idea. But so long as Raila was alive, you could see how he was managing ODM. He had structures. Yeah. Up to, I think, 80 members of parliament. That's a very big achievement. He had structures, he had all that. What happens is, for you to begin saying that we don't have democracy in a party, the opposite of that would be what I would call dictatorship, right? Because I'm the founder of the party, I don't want to listen to other reasons. I know about my party leader. He calls many organs. He calls many people before he reaches a decision. He will call the neck. He'll go meet the members of parliament and senators who are leaning to DCP. He'll call aspirants. He'll call other organs. He's very consultative, because he knows that for me to go far, I need everybody's voice in the decision making of this party. So I can tell you, and people are free to do many things. Me as a Secretary of Planning and Economic Affairs, I had a whole docket that dealt with this issue of budget, that deals with the planning, our agenda, what's going to happen, a whole 1 year. And then I come and brief him. Then he'll add some bit. And it's not me because I'm the secretary. I have another team of people, experts, who see the whole day, trying to come up. You can imagine how everybody doing something. That's how the beauty about party democracy. The reverse, of course, is one-man show. You sit, you order people around. That happens a lot with the parties in power. That's why they don't form the next government. After they form one government, that's a mistake they do. Because you're in power, you're the party leader, you're the president, for example. You summon people. Tell them, move this, go do this, do this. Finally, the people are not. Look at the aspirants that came for UDA meeting. 12,000.
Yes.
Out of 12,000, 10,000 were from one region called Rift Valley. Now, that's a dying party. That's how you see. Now, that's how you know that the party is losing popularity. Because as a party in government, you're supposed to have people in every region. all other supporters. Now, let me ask you, how many people do you think, in a region that gave the president 47% of the votes, Mount Kenya, I can tell you, how many MPs do you think will vie on president's party or his formation? Almost none. I can tell you that. What, in short, every party is formed to get power. You have gotten power. Then you should be stronger. But now, you're becoming weak because of the way you are running the party. You expel people, you remove your deputy president, you remove the secretary general. This is a kind of confusion. By now, we should be seeing a very strong party, but it's going down. Now, look at ODM. I am not sure why Raila Odinga preferred to have 3 deputy party leaders. Because that means you don't have a clear successor. Okay? You don't have a clear successor. You'd want to do that to balance power. I want somebody in Coast, feeling that he's next to me. I want somebody in Nyanza, feeling he's close to me. And somebody in Kisii, feeling they're close to me. But if you have somebody and everybody will know this is the next guy, because even when I'm alive, I'm able to tell someone, one person only, go and inform the others. The command begins showing. That's what I'm trying to say here. It is something that has to be very deliberate and very intentional. And that's why you see the Gachagua keeps saying, I'm building other people. Yeah? You know, he hadn't nominated the Honorable John Medho to be the SG area. But because of the things that has been going on and what he has seen in him, he has been elevated as an SG. NEC has met and appointed him as an SG. We go growing other people because it's not a one-man thing. And Gachagua keeps saying, it's not about me. I want to grow other people so that going forward, there are more people in this party who are also going to move on. And he listens to everyone. It's the parties here in this country. The problem is, you have one party, a dictatorship, you know, you want to kill all others, you want yours to remain. That's what I've given an example. I'm really praying that ODM will find itself before it is too late, before it is absorbed and eaten and, and collapsed under the arms of UDA. Find itself, come back to the people. Because if it doesn't, what will happen? The ODM shell will remain. The people will move with Linda Mwananchi, and that is the end of the story. I can tell you.
Actually, I think that is the news that is coming in, that they have officially now done it, removed the SG, that is Sifuna, from the seat of SecGen. And that is the reason why we are talking about this issue of dissent voices in political parties. So looking at Sifuna, looking at some of these key leaders in these political parties, most of the time, if they disagree with let me call him the owner of the party, because we have, like you're saying, there's somebody who came up with that idea. That is the owner of that party, because without them, that party will not be there most of the time.
I don't want to use the word owner. Use the word party leader.
Okay, I don't want to use the party leader because I know what I'm looking at. Because look at ODM. After the passing of the late Raila Amolo Odinga, what happened? We were expecting that constitutionally that the deputy party leaders maybe would have been the people to take over. But who was given the leadership? Brother. That is family. So basically, that's what I'm talking about.
Now let me tell you. First of all, the question is, who gave Dr. Oburu Odinga the party leadership? It's not the organs of the party. It's an outsider. It is an outsider who somehow knew Raila.
Who is that outsider?
Either had passed or he was going to pass. And he decided who is going to run ODM. ODM is not run by ODM. ODM is run from State House. If you don't get what I'm saying. It's not the organs. No organ met. Everybody was in shock. But they were called, summoned, and told, this is the next party leader. Let me tell you something. I feel so sad for ODM. And I will say this today. Extremely sad. I don't know. I never believed the president when he said he is going to divide ODM. That's what he told the Honorable Gachagua. I didn't know he had such powers. But I can tell you today, ODM is not ODM. But what pains me, if Raila Odinga was alive today, Sifuna would not have been removed as SG, would not have been removed as a member of the Energy Committee. So whose legacy are they carrying on? Because normally, as Christians we are told to do as Jesus would do. in any circumstance. So I thought these guys would be happy to do as Laila would do. I can tell you this. The amount of damage they are putting themselves, Sifuna will be one of the most key figures in the politics of this country going forward. Because of what? President Ruto has made him so. In the bid of controlling, capturing, and managing ODM, he chases Sifuna, who becomes one of the biggest threats to President Ruto's presidency next year. One of them, because the others, Sifuna will be key. I'll tell you, mark this word. And what is interesting, I don't know who advises people when they get to power. I have no idea. I don't know what happens to the sense of people when they get power. I think this issue of you can get a private jet for 5 days off, 10 vehicles there. When you turn, there are people saying, yes, sir. This side, that side, even the people serving UT, they are saying, yes, sir. Then you begin thinking you'll be there forever. You lose common sense. Who can't see that chasing Sifuna is actually inflicting, literally self-inflicting, to the president? I don't know who doesn't tell him that. You know, and that's why the people around him, you know, sorry, Akina Junior, let me mention names because even me, I'm being mentioned somewhere anyway. Even in public figure, you can be mentioned anywhere. Even people can dream with you for good or for bad. You know, when you hate someone, you know, you can always scream, spearing him.
Yeah.
Let's talk. The people who are there, they have been access to so much power and money, right? That they can do anything they are told to do by the president to kill ODM. Do you know the objective of the president? He wants to field candidates on UDA, even in Nyasa. So those guys will come. What will happen? President will make sure the integrity goes down. Their image goes down. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm talking the people running ODM. Through the actions they are doing, right? He will make sure he finishes them. When he finishes them, he will lay their background, or their bedroom rather, call it Luonyanza, and they will have nobody to protect them. Because they already have a very bad image before the residents for what they did to people like Sifuna. That one I can tell you. You watch this space. The president has determined to finish ODM. Then he can go to Luonyanza and everybody where ODM was, and in his party or his coalition of parties. And that is why he really wants Sifuna very far. Because Sifuna is the one who keeps on talking, I'm still the SG of the party. He wants the name ODM to go. But I can tell you, the political machinery that's coming up, between the united opposition and Didamon, anybody saying one term will be one team. You'll see Gen Zs there, millennials, everybody else, every generation. Generation from 1983 of Kalonzo Musyoka to people who are born in 1980s, like Sifuna and other people, you see them in one team. It will be like 2002, where everybody knew Moi can do a trick and get Uhuru as a president. So they had to come, all of them this other side. Never mind there were issues after the elections because of also they did MOUs and put them in the pocket. Who does MOU and put it in the pocket? This time round, whatever we agree will be open. There will be no, you see what they did? They agreed, Kibaki took the list and hid it in the pocket. And that was it. Nobody else knew. Here we are going to say, this formation called Leader Mwananchi, for example, is coming on board. This is a position is going to take. And this is how we are going to be doing our things. Just openly. You know, the more you hide things, people are very clever these days. They don't know behind anything. So this time around, the difference will be we are going to be very open. Extremely open. This is how we are going to organize government. I don't know to call sharing opposition because that's not the idea. Organizing government is a better term, right? This is going to be president, all this. And the beauty, please, it's not the presidential candidates. It's not the principals who are going to decide who to become president or not and deputy. No. The people are very clever. Do you know what the people are saying? As we speak, they are able even to tell. If you get this combination, can you imagine? It's the people who are watching the people and saying, wait, no. You, we don't need you there. There we need so and so. You can pray here. It is people. What we are doing now is public participation. By the time we unveil our candidate next year, things will be so, everybody will have had a voice. So, and you cannot go fit in a boardroom, bring a match, a combination that people have never spoken about it and they don't want. You have to be respectful to the people to the voice of the people on the ground. That's what is going to happen.
Your critics keep on saying that united opposition is not united. And I also want to ask Sarah here, do you think there's a rift between Malala and Methu? Before even getting to the rift amongst them, I think when we're talking about democracy within parties, it is very unrealistic to state as if they have already reached a point of democracy. Why am I saying that? You can't say Rome was built in a day. You can say you may be doing certain things and implementing certain procedures to make sure there's a system of democracy. But you can't put it like a complete statement, like you're already at a point of, you've reached that point that there's democracy in the party. If from someone who's on the sidelines and trying to look at this whole picture soberly, minus emotions, I can't really accept that as feedback that yes, as a party, parties are democratic enough. We are democratic enough. That is a lie. That is a lie, because even if we're to look at African countries who state to be democratic, they have not yet reached democracy. There are things they may be doing in the direction of democracy, but you can't come out with a short statement and say we are democratic and this other side is not democratic. Now, on the side of if there's and funny thing, division,
most of the political parties, they have democracy in there. It is written like but I'm very keen in this conversation. Reason being, part of the reason why we are saying we have found ourselves in this particular issue or this particular problem with the current administration is because we found ourselves love bombed by charisma, words. It's a manifesto, as he mentioned. Yes. That got us to this point, that we were so convinced that, yes, this is the guy. So now we need to be keen about these words. We need to be keen about what is actually being said. We need to be keen about these political terms that are being used when talking about democracy, talking about leadership, talking about how the chain of command is in those political parties. Now, even on the side of division, you asked me if I believe if Methu and whether they're united or they're divided. Whether there is a problem. Well, just as he mentioned, I'll keep using your words, Doctor. You said when something is working, you will see it. It was interesting for me to see that on one side, both yesterday and I believe today, Methu was in, it's called what? That's location. It's called... Olkalau. Yes. And there are certain statements he made. I was following it. The statements he was making didn't really seem like him and Nania actually on the same page. It seems like each person is making their own noise from one angle under the same umbrella. But it doesn't seem like they're together, if I'm to be very honest from my seat. It doesn't seem like they're united. Producer, do you have a clip about Malala or Methu or something?
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Is Cleophas Malala back on his way to UDA again?
I state that my interest in all this is purely the pursuit of justice and to clear my name from possible speculations regarding my illegal removal. I have served diligently and obediently as Secretary General for the UDA party since I assumed office, popularized the party across the country, and grew the party by more than 3 million new members. I cannot, therefore, exit because of an illegal decision made by a handful of malicious party officials who are...
Mimi nasema nikiwa hapa Olkalau, nikiwa nimesimama nje ya polisi ya Olkalau. Mimi nataka niambie hawa ambao tunashindana nao. Mimi nataka nimwambie William Ruto, kama wewe ni mwanaume, kama wewe ni mwanaume kamili, wacha kujificha nyuma ya polisi. Wacha kutisha kina mama wewe. Ng'ang'ana na wanaume wa rika yako. Wewe Kasongo wewe. Wewe Kasongo wewe. Wewe. Sisi tumesimama nje ya polisi ya Olkalau. Tunakwambia wewe Kasongo, achana na kina mama. Achana na wanaume kama wewe. Kama lazima ushike mtu, wachana na jiko moya. Kika mimi ndio mtu wa kushikwa. Wewe Kasongo wewe. Nilikwambia wewe. Ninakuheshimu lakini wewe
Well, I think I didn't get what I wanted from the clip, but it's okay. So, according to how you have...
what I wanted from the clip.
Oh, you've got
yes,
it. Okay.
That is a clear indication that there seems to be no unity. Why do I say that? If you're very keen on what Methu was trying to communicate there, from his statements, there's nothing to do with, we as a party. There's no we. It's very much directed at the president that if you're man enough, you understand. It's more of challenging the president and then being a hype man. I can't say I can get anything from the message he's trying to decipher that is showing any form of, togetherness, unity. This is what we're thinking of doing.
This is between, not between the President Ruto. I meant between Malala.
Yes. That's my point. You see, he mentioned something when you've been talking about Rigathi Gachagua. If you're keen, even in his wordings, when he's speaking, he keeps saying, as the party, we as the party, we're thinking of doing this. We're planning on doing that. You get? So for such a gentleman, by the time you find yourself on such a platform, my expectation would be, if the party is so united, I should be also getting to hear and know, okay, I am currently here doing A, B, C, D, but we also have this other person who's doing A, B, C, D. There should be that form of a connection of support. I have not seen that between those two gentlemen.
Okay.
I have not seen it. Maybe you have different sentiments, Doctor.
What I tell you, a lot of people, they spend a lot of time trying to wish some discord, division, death, of other people. I don't know why. I mean, Marara goes to organize a tournament. He's missing in a week.
Yes.
And you see, Kakamega is not here. He's not Kikuyu. Kakamega is the other part of is the farthest part of western Kenya. It's many kilometers. Marara goes to organize a football cup that he has been doing for the last 10 years. Oh, we can't see Marara and here, Gachagua, they must have fallen out. Then Marara goes to organize a by-election of MCA. Even people don't know there's a by-election in Western. And Marara is our deputy party leader. He is there. Oh, speculation again. What is these people want with Marara? Why do people continue wishing Marara to have a problem? Again, let me ask you. The position, the SG, never went to take over the position of the deputy party leader. He is simply an SG. The guy who was an SG, called Hezron Obaga, is not complaining. But the pages were all over for 2 days.
Yes.
You see, Kisii has been demoted. Kisii it's a tribal party because Kisii has been removed from an SG. And people even didn't know that he was retained as a very powerful ED. ED is a person, executive director, is a person who does learning of the party. This person is like a personal assistant, the kind of bond with him with the party leader. People didn't bother. Oh, you see now, another Kikuyu SG, the one who was there because he's a Kisii, he has been removed. The center board of the CV party is that gentleman called Hezron Obaga. He has everything in his fingertips. As a matter of fact, he was put there in the meantime as a party leader was, quite, trying to figure out exactly who to fill the substantial. And I can tell you this because I know when we began the party. It's only that, Senator Melo, because of the timing then, just wait a minute first, let's see how things will go. Even as we formed the party, Melo was SG. It's just a matter of time. So I don't see why people would want. Why is it that when you put somebody who is known and powerful as an SG, people have a problem? We want somebody who can command, who can brainwash or just hogwash all these other, Akina Hassan and other SGs of these other parties very quickly in the morning. And that is Medhu. Medhu, you need somebody who can talk, like what he's doing. Somebody who can actually do what he can do, because he's a spokesman of the party. Yes. I mean, why are people worried when you put Medhu as SG? What were they thinking? Or what did they want? I mean, party leader has been making all the statements. There are some that can be done by the SG. Yes. Yeah. He has been going to all the political talk shows. Right now, Medhu is enough to carry a popular Inoro TV show to Olkalau, like happened yesterday. This is beautiful. This is nice. Party leader has his own space. Okay? He has his own space assisting the party leader. That is the beauty of democracy, having everybody. I think people wanted the Obaga to go so that they can say, you see, Kisii have been kicked out. Then they want Marara to go so they can begin saying, DCP doesn't want to have people like Marara in the party. So let's stop speculation. We are strong, we are good. I can tell you, one of the biggest, let me just one just to be moderate, one of the biggest political parties in Kenya next year will be DCP, with a majority, quite a number of MPs, at least 18 senators, 18 governors. I mean, that's what we are planning. And every party, let it speak for itself. We are not here, by the way, for record, I'm not here to talk on behalf of any party. Anybody who wants to talk about their party, let them come book a show. Let them talk about their parties. I mean, I was very clear from the word go that I left government to come into this party and vie on it. And what is the purpose? Sarah, you can ask, then what next? We want to be a place whereby some of us who are policy makers, we have a touch with the ground. Because these policies are meant to go and help the people. When we say we are removing SHA to bring an upgraded NHIF, I am normally called to Harambee, where I'm told where you are. There is somebody here. She's going through chemotherapy, 18 sessions. Each session is 170,000. That's about 3 million plus. But SHA is only paying 3. You know, then as a leader, I'm asking, if I get the opportunity, I'll be in a place to push policy through government that I'm going to be part of, okay, to make sure that such things don't happen. The issue of fundraisers for school fees, okay? Can we go scrap all these kind of things, have free education all the way to high school? As a policy, I'll push these policies knowing that there is somewhere where they have a ground. We also don't want just people in Nairobi here, policy makers, but they don't know how to make work because the application of the policies are not touching the people. That's why for me, I'm looking for this space. Whatever, the time we have wasted with this government 5 years, I am very clear in my mind the things we can tackle in every ministry, in every sector, to simply make things work. So I'm passionate about this because I want to be in a place where I have a touch with the people as an elected representative, but I have influence within the inner parts of the party to make sure that the party forms government, coalition that forms government, we are part of it, so that we simply go, and I keep on saying this, 70% of all the challenges that we have in this country can be solved within one city when there's political goodwill. 70%. You don't need many stories. Within 2 weeks, then you give, if it's an amendment of the laws, you take it to parliament, they pass the laws, and things go. It's about political goodwill. That's what is lacking in this country, nothing else. So that one, you don't need many stories. Get the right team, put them in your room, go one by one sectors. This and this and this, what are we going to do? And agree, tell guys, get the right CSS to go and implement that work. So it's possible, it's doable.
Okay, people of the internet, it's time to now receive your calls. So you can check our number that is on our screen there. You'll be able to give us a call as she continues.
I was just saying, I wanted to tell Doctor, I feel that's still a very diplomatic answer to that question. And the reason why I'm saying it's a very diplomatic answer to that question is because from what you're describing, you're stating that if we see people in certain positions, just as you've mentioned, Methu being the SG, it's because he functions in that role. Not necessarily because he is fully supported or liked by other members, but because he functions, let him function. So that still doesn't answer whether there's the unity or a disunity. But I'm not in the party, so
you still need further clarification.
People should not worry themselves of thinking how trouble can be in other parties.
Okay.
People should concentrate on good things.
I'm a realist. By the way, I'm a realist. Every single for you to come and convince me that there's complete harmony in a party, already I would have to reject it. Why? Because we have to be realistic. There are going to be situations where there are going to be some disputes. You can't say all these people, this group of people, are completely in 100% agreement. There's some who are at 98%, there's some who are at 75%, there's some who are at 30%. But the only place they're meeting is, okay, you function here, I can function here, I can function here, and we seem to be trying to target this common goal. But if you make it seem as if they're completely, we're so united.
Intact. Everything is intact.
I mean, we have the usual issues about conflict management, issues that happen, personal, even differences in personality. Those things are always there in anything. Like from the home, home, unit, Wherever you go in your chama, there are always those things. Those are not things to borrow so much about anything. And but what would people gain by wishing for such things? We want to be one team. If DCP is strong, then we go to the coalition.
Okay.
Everybody's strong.
Okay, let's receive this call. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Newton.
Hello.
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 Hello, I'm Newton.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
I think you can just disconnect and call again. Meanwhile, on our comment section, of course, people have really commented. People have a lot of concerns, a lot of questions, and lots of responses to what we are discussing. So let's hear what he has to say. Hello.
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 Yes, I'm Newton.
Yes,
I'm
from
Newton.
where?
From Kiambu. My question is, works the panelist, this issue of Mount Kenya West and Mount Kenya East. Yeah, because it is an issue that we should hear more about it.
Okay, I think he's gonna respond to that. Thank you so much, Daktari. Somebody is saying, say hi to Daktari and tell him that we learn a lot from him at the party. This is Wesley Jeff. They are following the conversation right here. So somebody just said that Sifuna for president. Okay, yeah. Somebody also said that we don't care about ODM. I don't know why they don't care. There's also a concern here. They're saying no one else in Kenya apart from our Luo brothers is interested in what ODM is doing. Yeah, you guys stay with your Oburu and other tribal conmen when Ruto lets you jump to ask how high. Hey, I don't know why this sad or this harsh. Okay, there's somebody who's saying make Sifuna your presidential candidate. Watch Asira. Yeah, and stop talking about other political parties. I don't know.
You know. Let me tell you, we live in this country, and we have to analyze other. I mean, I don't know why every time I come to offer my small piece of my own piece of please. I'm a political scientist.
Yes.
I do analysis every day.
True.
I mean, from morning to evening. And I only analyze things that are in this country. If I have to talk about Tanzania, it's in one sentence. So I don't know why. Every time I offer my just very nice, analysis of ODM, people have a problem. They have free to analyze DCP in the other talk shows. They are free to analyze anybody else. I mean, that's why I'm saying even me. Some people may be analyzing me somewhere in Nakuru saying whether I'm fit to become senator. It's allowed. So I don't know why. When I offer my unsolicited, advice to ODM, everybody has a problem. Not to talk about other parties. They live in this country. So let me tell you about Mount Kenya West and East. Let me tell you something. That is a plot by the president to divide Mount Kenya vote. But what he doesn't know, since Moi Kibaki days, Mount Kenya vote as one block.
Okay.
So he's trying so that the block doesn't go to one place. The block, now they say others are east, others are west. That's one thing he doesn't know. That finally, at the end of the day, all Mount Kenya people and wherever they are, they vote as one. And that's what we expect Kambani people to do. Okay. And let people not tell us about tribalism and all that. This is not about tribalism there. It's about something called regional political mobilization.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Hello. I think they've disconnected. Yeah, keep on calling us, of course, as we wind up with this conversation. Suzanne, what do you have to say as we wind up?
No, I just find it interesting. For me, like I said, I'm like a fly on the wall, just observing and absorbing and getting to understand more and more. And there's still a lot of things that I'm not convinced. Yeah, there's still a lot of jargon that's being thrown around for now. But hopefully, I believe in the near future, we'll finally get to the meat on the bone.
Okay, okay. Hello?
Hello. Hi.
Hi, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Wesley from the DCP Youth League.
Karibu, Wesley.
Allow me, first of all, to say hi to Dr. Peter Mbai.
Yes, hi to you, Wesley.
Wonderful. So I wanted to answer Susan. On the question of disunity, for us at DCP, we believe that Rigathi Gachagua is our captain. And he is free in consultation with the party members to assign people as he sees fit. And there is a saying where we come from that buffaloes do not stay together because they are in love. They stay together because of safety. And the danger that we face today is none other than William Ruto. So if to make this ship that is effective in sending William Ruto home, we need Medo as SG and Dr. Peter Mbai there analyzing our policy, then that is what we will do as a party. And that is where we stand. So the question of unity is addressed in that manner of practicality, where everybody plays a role towards the larger goal of sending William Ruto home. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Somebody is saying, Raila, who was here to please you people while using the Luo community, then he goes to tell Western people his Wanga is not here. The Luo of 2026 is a different animal. Wajaribu Western. That is somebody right here in the comment section. Alafu mwingine anasema Rigathi Gachagua ataingiza Mount Kenya kwa shimo na watu wenye wamesoma ndio wanapoteza watu wengine. I don't know what he's saying. Sema Rigathi Gachagua anapeleka watu kwa shimo. Do you think so? This is one Kenyan called Peter Echuru.
So, Peter Echuru, I just want to remind Peter Echuru this. I said, there's something called, I have studied these issues of peace and conflict and whatever for many years. There's something we call regional political mobilization. Then regions go to the national table and they mobilize nationally. There's nothing like starting from the national. You have to begin from where you are. That's why we say we have our people in Ukambani, others in Kisii land, others in Luya, others in all that. So the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua took 3.8 million votes and gave President Ruto. That's why he became president. So what we are saying, we can as well take those votes to someone else. There's nothing wrong with that. So these things are going to be there. People should not fear Rigathi Gachagua that much. By the way, he's a Kenyan and he has to do Lord's work, until we reach where we want to reach. That one I can tell you.
So somebody is also asking, don't you think DCP is a region-based rather than being a nationalistic?
Again, I'll repeat again. Is Wiper a national rather than a regional party?
I don't.
Thank you very much. What I'm saying, there is a party that is strong in Luya land called DAPK. It has a governor, I think 2 governors, I think 10 MPs, and some MCAs. It is strong there. You have never seen DCP going to field candidates in Ukambani. What for? There is a strong party there. Why don't they go field candidates there? Then we meet in the national table. Each one from where they have come from. And I'm saying this without a conviction, because we have to help people with the truth and talk to them every day. So I'll tell you this fear of Rigathi Gachagua every day is because he has become somebody that nobody thought he would become. That's why everybody is talking about Rigathi Gachagua. And I want to warn Kenyans, don't fall into the trap of President William Ruto. He's the one who has been calling Rigathi Gachagua a tribulist in the name of alienating the Mount Kenya from other communities. Don't go to that route. And by the way, however they went to go that route, we are one. Look at the people on the table right now. Look at the people on the table. Look at Fred Matiang'i. Look at people like Sifuna. Look at Marara. Look at Eugene Wamalwa from Western. Look at Karonzo. We are getting people from Northeastern. We will be having people on this table from Rift Valley, Luo Nyanza. Look at our people we have from Coast. It's going to be a whole rainbow from every part of the country. The kind of division president is working day and night to cause, to show that some parties are tribal and all that. That he's a beneficiary of that, if I may call that way, of the tribal mobilization in 2022. How he got a whole 47% of his votes from one community. He's a victim. He's a whatever. He's a beneficiary.
Okay.
So as we will not touch about all these people talking, we have one goal. We are aiming all our arsenal at one man, President William Ruto. We will not answer. You will not hear us answering to these other people around here, Mokomen and other people like those ones. Those are just boys to be sent by the president. We are aiming at one. We must not lose focus. From millennials to Gen Zs to everybody else in this country, from all races and all religions, from all communities in Kenya, let us aim our goal to one man. If President Ruto goes home, 75% of all the problems will be gone with him. 75%.
Well, as we finalize,
the 25% is just now your family and how you are going to go to heaven.
Okay.
But all these other things about to live in this world, they'll be done.
So somebody is saying Luos are on a revenge mode at the expense of their well-being. This is somebody calling himself Slam Masai from Berlin.
I don't think it's just Luos, like he has stated there, that on a revenge mode. I actually wanted to chip into what Doctor had mentioned. From somebody in my position, looking at what has happened, it feels like when Rigathi Gachagua was with President William Ruto, when he was looking for those votes, as you mentioned, he got votes and it came as a block. Now, it feels like he found himself in a toxic relationship, but he didn't know it was a toxic relationship. Until later, he now realized this is a toxic relationship and then got out. But now, when you get into a toxic relationship and there are these people that when you're getting to the relationship, you're saying, oh, my man, akiana nifanyia hivi, what you are shouting and praising and saying, oh, how amazing it is. And now when it gets to the point where you realize now it's toxic, I really feel like the current situation and what you have mentioned, that one mission is to get President William Ruto out of his seat, it seems like a bitter ex. You understand? It seems like it's a bitter ex situation, that now you made me look foolish in front of these people. So now let me focus on bringing back and winning back these people. And what I mean by these people is that block that you mentioned. So that's why when you see other people or other parties maybe feeling like there seems to be some level of, let me use your English, regional alliance.
Yes.
It's because when that ticket was initially being sold, it was presented from that regional alliance.
Yes.
And now, because Betty Lichomeka, Tena, he has to go back and try and win back that same regional alliance. So it leaves other people kind of like, okay, so tunaingia wapi hapo? You get.
And again,
where are we getting into that relationship?
If a relationship has failed or a marriage did not work, you go back to your people. You can go back to your people.
There's a point here which you need to clear. Okay. Assuming, because of the fallout, somebody is bitter and is like, lazima takuharibia jina town mzima. So let me say this. It is 2 years, over 2 years since Rigathi Gachagua left office. And the president was saying, this Rigathi Gachagua is not helping me. He is sabotaging my work. Actually, the word is insubordination. After Rigathi left, we'll be seeing a London in this country. If the problem was Rigathi Gachagua. So what Rigathi Gachagua has been saying, guys, this is what used to happen. I could not tolerate him anymore. So he decided to kick me out for ABCD reasons. This country, Ruto would have moved on and made this country very successful and leave all these things of greed and all that and all that. Now, that's what I'm saying. Why this is not somebody you would say that some fallout and bitterness and all that because of the failed marriage is because the problem is not the mother. The problem is actually the guy. Because when the wife left, in quotes, he would have continued and become very successful. And everybody will be singing Ruto Tena from across the country. Number two, let's make this distinction. The issue we have here is not an issue between the president and Rigathi Gachagua. Because if it were, Shah would be working in Kisumu. SHA would be working in Voi, Mwatate. SHA would be working in Garissa and Nandi. Okay? The corrupts of education capitation should be missing only in Mount Kenya schools. And then the rest of the country will be very happy. The problem is a man in State House. He doesn't have the capacity to govern. I will tell you this, somebody's personality and character you cannot change. There's no way you hope anything to change in the president. Somebody with no capacity is no, and they are not willing to learn. You know, sometimes there's something called capacity building. This one you are not, because he wants to teach you how to teach him about capacity. And he thinks he is very good and better than anybody else. That's why he can tell other people useless. How can you call other human beings useless? Even before God, surely. You're not allowed to call anybody useless. You okay? How can you say that everybody has no brains? And you keep on saying that it's a very good thing you are saying. This means we have the wrong man in State House. A man in State House looks presidential. Okay? You don't go pushing yourself into a G7 meeting. Of course, what I mean is that he was not invited. He asked to be invited. Okay? He requested to be invited so that he can show other guys how he's big in Africa. Do you remember any meeting they sat and they sent him to represent Africa? That's a narrative by the PR guys. Do you know what you mean by presenting Africa? Like who? You are not the EU chairman. You are not whatever. But these are just shows. There's a lot of PR around here. We want somebody calm, somebody who believes in himself, somebody who is not afraid of his own shadows, somebody who has sown into zero corruption and greed, somebody who does not fear to derogate. That's the kind of person we are looking at the State House. So I'll tell you this. We are very sure among us ourselves, as DCP party, as a united alternative government, that we only need to do one thing going forward. Please focus on one man. Let us remove him and Kenya will be very happy.
I think, Doctor, I would advise you, be very keen not to find yourself in a charismatic movement. Let me call it charismatic, because you are saying you're very sure. Now, my question is, but you are sure the first time, you understand? You were previously sure and things happened. Now again, you're sure.
No, we simply need to take time to decide about the team. I'm not saying one person anymore. The problem is that we entrusted all power to one man. Thank you. I'm very, I mean, I would not fail. Let me tell you, I can fail in other things, but not on leadership and governance. That's what I paid school fees to go and learn. And all my years, by the way. I've either been in politics or in government. That's why we are allowing people to check all these people. Okay? To check one by one. Who is this person? What has he done? Who is he? And by the way, let us not only focus on the president. People elected 6 people, including the president. Check your governor the same way. Check your senator. Check your women rep. Check your MP, MCA. Let us put them on the same pedestal. Okay? On who are we? Why are we electing you? By the way, and who are you? So somebody should go, take 2 weeks, then forget something, then come back. And by the way, did you say, where were you between these years? What did you do? That is what we expect for every position in this country. It's not about the president alone. You can have a very good president in Nairobi, but you have a very weak governor with no capacity, a very poor senator, women rep, MP. Because MP is there. Look at the structure quickly. In a county government, the governor and the MCAs are supposed to sort county government functions. The MP, women rep, and senator are supposed, in addition to senator oversighting county government, he should go and try to engage, oversight the national government in terms of the functions of the national government in a county, including now these big projects. Come and lobby for water, mega dams, come and lobby for electricity, come on for tarmac. So, you see, we need capacity all through. We not be talking just about the president. People are going to elect 6 for 6 positions next year.
Yeah, we need to wind up. But before we wind up, I think I need to respond to one person here who said, why is Trish making excuses for Robert Mbui? What pressure? He's a ranking member. Stop defending liars and con men. The bill was prosecuted clause by clause. Mbui was caught scamming people. Well, I think just to clear the air about this is that I didn't defend this guy. What I meant was there's something that people are missing out on this Mutumba bill, by the way. Yeah, there is something that people are missing out on this 5% on Mutumba bill, because what this, the status of that bill is that for now it was removed, but it can be brought back in future engagements. I don't know whether Daktari ulisoma hiyo pia.
Yes.
Yeah, that is what I wanted just to clear, because according to who was this? Kimani.
Mm-hmm.
He had said that the bill is not, like, he acted like the bill was not there completely. I don't know whether you saw his expression. Yeah, that's why I reacted on that, because he reacted like that bill was not there in the first place. But the final take is that this bill was there, and of course, after consultation with people, they said that it was removed, but pending it can be brought back in future legislative procedures. So that is the state of that Mutumba bill. Yeah, so I think up to this moment, we can call it a day. Thank you, Daktari, for making your time to come and do this conversation with us here. Yeah, thank you for your insights. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Sarah. You didn't like that name.
You decided to baptize me with a new name. I just accepted it.
Yeah, thanks so much, Sarah, Howie, for also taking your time to come and join this conversation. Of course, Sarah, by the way, is our executive producer of the political headache. So today, she had to sit in the panel, and it was an awesome conversation, an interesting conversation. Of course, I didn't know she's that insightful. Yeah, she has a lot.
No, I'm just a normal Kenyan.
Yeah. Yes. So in future, of course, we shall continue with this kind of conversations right here at the political headache. Of course, Jagero will be coming back soon, so you need not to worry. Yeah. So thank you so much, people of the internet, for also keeping us company. Thank you for your contributions. That is your calls and also your time, as well as the comments that you've written to us on our comment section. So until next time, my name is Trisha Wayua. Goodbye for now.
All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or You can also become actually an English tutor and tens of, AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjigero.co.ke.